All right, members, welcome to this session. I have seen that a good number of you have been able to join. My name is Isaac Njuguna, FCPA Isaac Njuguna, the examinations director at Kasneb. So I'm going to take you through this presentation. There is some echo. Let me just address it first. Okay, I think we should be good to go now. So what I was saying is that I will be taking you through this presentation. And please, everyone, I'm requesting everyone to mute so that we can all concentrate on this presentation. As you are aware, Kasneb has introduced new requirements to mainly to our professional qualifications. And these requirements have come in order to ensure that our graduates continuously meet the market demands. And this is not just in Kenya, but also globally. Our graduates work globally, and we have to ensure that we incorporate the global trends in our qualifications. The last major review that we undertook in 2021 was a major, in fact, the most significant in terms of the history of our reviews. And this one introduced a number of requirements, and these requirements were guided by the need to adopt a competence-based professional education program. Please mute everyone. Please mute. James, if you are there, please mute those who might be talking. So a competence-based curriculum lays a little bit less emphasis on examinations, but more emphasis on other areas of assessment that to confirm that you have acquired a competence that you're supposed to get. It's not just about examinations. And that is why the issue of practical experience has come in. The issue of workshops have also come in. And for the CS finalists, the issue of the research has also come in. I'm also happy to report, and we have shared this communication earlier, that our qualifications have been accredited with the Kenya National Qualifications Authority. And this is the authority that is mandated by law to equate qualifications. And our professional qualifications have been accredited at level 7, Kenya National Qualification Framework level 7. And that is where the degrees are. So if you go to the Kenya National Qualifications Authority website, you are going to see our qualifications, our professional qualifications have been placed at the same level as a degree. What that means, and this applies not just to the current CPA, but all our professional qualifications that we have issued since Kasneb was established. What that means is that if you need a letter of equation, you apply to the Kenya National Qualifications Authority, and they give you a letter of equation saying that CPA has been equated at the same level as a university degree. So that is a communication that we have shared with you before, and I also just wanted to shed some more light on that matter. So without any further ado, allow me to make this presentation. Our CEO may join us. I don't know whether he has been able to join. Just allow me to check shortly. All right, we are going to proceed. Once I see, in case he is able to join us, then I'm going to introduce him and invite him to make some remarks. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to just go through this presentation, and then thereafter, we will come back and have an interaction. And as I've said, we are open. We have not yet implemented this. We are open to hear any further suggestions that you might have or concerns that you might have before we roll these requirements out. So members, I hope you can be able to see the screen. And what we have basically is, you can see the introduction. And among the introductions that we have made is the issue of the practical work experience requirement. All our CPA graduates prior to certification will be required to demonstrate 1 year practical experience. This practical experience may be obtained as you continue with your professional study or after you finish with the examinations part of the professional study. So those of you who are working, who are doing relevant work, and we shall give you the guidelines on what constitutes relevant work, you do not have again, after you finish, have to acquire another 1 year practical experience. Already, whatever you are currently working on, whatever experience you are getting, will be considered at the point of certification, provided that it meets the criteria that I'm going to present shortly. Alternatively, if you don't get experience by the time you are finishing your qualification and examinations, then you can get that experience after you finish your examinations. Experience acquired before you started the qualification or before you started doing examinations is not considered. And that is part of international best practice because Kenya is a member of the International Federation of Accountants. And through ISPAC, we are required to implement international education standards for professional accountants. That means, therefore, that what that standard provides is that experience acquired as you go through the examinations or after you finish the examinations, that experience is recognized. But experience that you acquire before you started doing your professional qualification is not recognized. For now, the practical experience requirement is for those undertaking the CPA qualification, but is being rolled out subsequently to CS, to CFA, and CCP qualification. For those who do not get an opportunity to demonstrate practical experience at the workplace, we are going to start what we are calling simulation workshops. And simulation is where you create an environment that a student would encounter if they were working out there. So instead of you going to the workplace, we bring the workplace to you. How do we do that? We create a simulated work environment. If it's for accountants, for instance, we provide you, or we ask you to come with your laptop, and then we give you an environment as if you are working out there. If it is the data that you'd have encountered out there, for instance, data on sales, data on purchases, data on expenses, and you're required to put this together and come up with the financial statements, just as you would do in an actual work environment, then that is what we are calling simulation workshops. So for those who do not get the 1 year practical experience out there, then you will be required to attend simulation workshops. And I will explain later how we intend to provide or organize these simulation workshops so that wherever you are, whether you're in Kenya, whether you are in Cameroon, whether you are in Rwanda, whether you are in Burundi, because I know we have students joining in from all over, you do not have to come to Kenya to demonstrate that practical experience. Wherever you are, you can demonstrate. You do not have to come to Kenya to attend these workshops. These workshops can be undertaken from wherever you are. It will be a combination of virtual and physical workshops. So I will give you these guidelines in this presentation. The workshops will be rolled out we'll start with CPA and then will be rolled out to the other qualifications. The research project is for the Certified Secretary's qualification. And the requirement for you to undertake a research project has been introduced by the institute, the professional institute, the Institute of Certified Secretaries, which has recommended that given the role of a certified secretary in the boardroom, as a secretary to the boards, the issue of presentations is very, very critical for a certified secretary. Of course, we have a project for certified information systems solutions expert holders, and those projects guidelines are similar to the previous qualification we had, certified information communication technology. So those ones we shall not cover them today, but to note that we had guidelines that covered the CICT qualification. Now, as you noted, when we introduced the new syllabuses in July 2021, we did provide a 1-year transition period. For those who are in the then CPA Part 3 or CS Part 3 then, to finish without having to go through these additional requirements. Those who are already at the final stage, we gave them a transition period, 1 year. And the 1 year period expired in August 2022. The 1 year transition period expired in August 2022. That means, therefore, all our CPA students who are still continuing the examinations will be required to specialize, pick a specialization paper, undertake a data analytics paper. And remember, in our last webinar, we took you through the requirements for data analytics, and then practical experience, and attend the workshops. The requirements for practical experience is not new. Under the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya, our CPA graduates who finished and wished to join ISPAC, they could join under 2 categories. They could join under the full category. Full category is where you had 3 years experience by the time you are finishing your CPA, or they could join under the associate category. Associate category is for those who had finished the CPA but had no experience. So the experience requirement is not new. There is already a framework to guide CPA holders wishing to join ISPAC, and that is called the Trainee Accountants Practical Experience Framework. And if you go to the website of ISPAC, that is www.ispac.com, you are going to see those practical experience frameworks. But those frameworks are coming in after you had finished CPA and you have been certified and you have been given a certificate. But now, before you get your certificate, you have to meet the 1 year practical experience requirement before you could get your CPA certificate without any practical experience. And under the new international standards provisions, then you are required to demonstrate some experience as part of the assessment, as part of competence-based assessment. So this practical experience will take effect for all CPA candidates who will be in the program after the August 2022 sitting. based in Kenya and outside Kenya. Now, the assessment of practical experience, the point at which we shall ask you to demonstrate that you have 1 year practical experience is after you finish the data analytics paper, practical paper. After you finish the data analytics practical paper, that is when we shall now ask you to demonstrate that you have 1 year practical experience so that you can receive your certificate. So, sorry. I think I had muted. Sorry, I had muted. I don't know where I had stopped. But what I was saying, as you can see there, is that this will start from the January 2023 for those who finish the data analytics. What I was also saying is that we shall ask you to demonstrate practical experience after you sit the data analytics paper. You sit the data analytics, then we ask you to demonstrate that you have 1 year practical experience. You can get this experience as you go through the program, but at the point when we shall ask you to demonstrate is after you have sat the data analytics paper. So before you sit the data analytics paper, we shall not ask you to demonstrate that you have 1 year experience. That is after you sit the data analytics. Those who will sit the data analytics paper in December 2022 and you pass, then from January 2023, we shall ask you to demonstrate that you have the 1 year practical experience before we certify you. And what we have said is that you can get this experience. If you do not get the practical experience from the workplace, then we shall invite you to attend simulation workshops. Simulation has also been used to train pilots. It has been used to train doctors. And it has also been used to train engineers. So this is not a new phenomenon in terms of the training of professional accountants and in terms of in building the competencies that professional accountants are required to do. Now, this is very, very important. We do appreciate that you can get experience from various fields. You can get experience from taxation. Some of you are in tax. Some of you are in accounting. Some of you are in audit. Some of you are in financial analysis. And many other fields, management, accounting, and all that. So we are not asking you, because you are in tax, then you must demonstrate experience in audit. No. We do appreciate the areas that you are working in and the competencies that you are working in that area. So we have what we are calling compulsory competencies, and we have what we are calling elective competencies. Compulsory competencies are those competencies where, whether you are in audit, whether you are in tax, whether you are in accounting, whether you are in management accounting or financial analysis, whichever field you are in, there are certain competencies that you must be able to demonstrate. So these are not technical competencies. These are those competencies. They're called professional competencies that whichever your area, you should be able to demonstrate. And one of the areas is one of the compulsory areas. Remember, there are two compulsory ones. The first one is professional ethics and values. And whichever area you are in, we are looking at professional judgments and skepticism. Here, we are talking about a questioning mind, judgment, that you encounter various ethical scenarios. You are able to exercise judgment between what is right and what is wrong. Skepticism, you know, a skeptic, someone who has a questioning mind. You don't take things at face value. This is not general skepticism. This is professional skepticism. And those who are in audit will understand me better. You don't just take things as you are given. You don't just take checks and sign them just because you have been told to sign. All right? So that is the issue of ethics and values, which are very, very critical to our professionals moving forward. Now, you must apply a questioning mind. You must demonstrate that you applied professional judgment in your workplace. That is application of a questioning mind, evaluation of various facts and circumstances to arrive at a reasoned and professional judgment or conclusion. Right? We have ethical principles and standards, which you are required to observe as a professional accountant in whatever field you are in. There are issues of integrity, all right? Standing up for what is right. Objectivity, you are not being influenced to do things by other people. And professional behavior and conduct, what you are expected to behave, how you are expected to behave as a professional, both in when you are working and when you are not working. Remember, the eyes of the public are on you. All right? Then there are issues of governance, risk management, and internal control. You must be able to appreciate risks in the areas that you are working in. There are risks in taxation. There are risks in audit. You must be able to show that you appreciated what those risks are, and you're able to participate in coming up with the mitigation plans for those risks. So the issues of internal control apply in whichever field you are in. You must demonstrate awareness of the laws and regulations applicable to different entities. Whichever area you are in, you must demonstrate that you know what rules apply there. Please mute. Those who are talking, kindly mute. And you must be able to demonstrate an understanding of the interaction between ethics, laws, and regulation and public interest. All right? So it is important you show us that you are able to demonstrate ethical conduct, and we will get in touch with your employers, and they will confirm to us that you are not involved with any ethical issues. You as a student, you'll be able to demonstrate that you encounter some ethical issues or dilemma. We call them ethical dilemmas, and you're able to do what is right. And that's why it has come in as number one, because as much as we can be able to ensure that we have trained you as an accountant, we must mold you into a professional that can stand out there and keep our profession glowing. Glowing and growing. There is growing with an R and glowing, the lights out there. Now, I go to the next compulsory competence. Remember, that was the first one. We go to the second one. That is professional skills. These are your people management skills. We expect our professional accountants to be able to lead. We want you to be CEOs. We want you to be managers. We don't want just you to be at the desk preparing accounts. We want you to move up the ladder. And we have to mold you in terms of your people skills. So the second compulsory competence is professional skills. You must be able to demonstrate leadership. You must be able to show that you are a team member who was able to participate in solving problems. You are able to manage people. You're able to motivate people, and you're able to lead. Very important that you're able to communicate in whichever field you are in. You're able to demonstrate clear and concise communication ability. All right, that you made presentations, that you had a brief that you provided to your supervisor. You were able to communicate with your team members, and there were no issues. You must be a manager. You had resources to manage. All right, you had timelines to meet, and you're able to meet those timelines. You are able to demonstrate initiative, sit down and plan your work, and reach the objectives for which your employer has provided you. There's no area that is not affected by IT, that is digital literacy. And this one again is compulsory. You must demonstrate that you are able to apply ICT in terms of your working area, in terms of your audits, in terms of your tax, in terms of your accounting. You must demonstrate that you are ICT proficient. The world of tomorrow and today actually is about digital literacy. And that's why we are saying that we cannot certify you until we are comfortable that you are digitally literate. Because whether you're in the public or the private sector, IT literacy is fundamental. And you must be able to demonstrate that you're able to use IT solutions such as spreadsheets, word processing, presentations, email, data analytic tools, use of ICT to undertake other technical tasks, use of the internet as a source of information, and you're able to assess IT risks. Appreciate that there are risks in IT. All right, we have heard of hacking. We have heard of other illegal access to information, misrepresentation through IT. You must demonstrate awareness of that, and that you are able to be proficient in terms of digital literacy. And of course, the issue of strategy. All right, we expect you to appreciate that organizations work through strategic planning, that you can participate or you participated in preparation of a strategy. So that as a leader or a manager, you can be able to demonstrate that you can strategize, you can prepare strategies for your institution, and you can be able to implement those strategies. Now, let me also mention here that the size of your organization does not matter. The size of the institution that you're working in does not matter. What matters is the experience that you're getting. You can be working for a very large organization, but you are not getting the experience that you're supposed to get. You can be working for an SME, all right? But you are getting the experience that you're supposed to get. So the bottom line is, what are the competencies that you are able to demonstrate, regardless of the size of your institution? So members, these are the compulsory competencies, those two. You see, we have not talked about accounting, you have not talked about audit, you have not talked about tax. Because those ones now will come in the elective competencies, because you will elect which area you are in and demonstrate competence in that area that you are in. Allow me now to proceed to the elective competencies. And this now, the elective, you demonstrate at least one. So if you're in accounting, you demonstrate competence in accounting. If you are in audit, you demonstrate competence in audit. If you are in the public sector, you demonstrate competence in public financial management. Now, the first one is financial accounting and reporting. For those who are in the accounting field, demonstrate that you're able to obtain source information for preparation of financial records. You're able to apply accounting principles. You're able to perform financial controls such as reconciliations, bank reconciliations. Those who are in multinational corporations, you're able to prepare consolidated accounts. You're able to prepare subsidiary ledgers, nominal ledger, and that you're able to apply international financial reporting standards or other standards that are applicable. But mainly, we are working with IFRSs. We know there are some standards that will be coming in for small SMEs. That's why we are also saying other relevant standards. And we also have what are coming in now. We are calling them sustainability standards, international sustainability standards. Sorry, there was a small interruption. So that is as far as IFRSs are concerned. Now, there'll be those who are in financial analysis. You might find that some of those in accounting are also performing analysis, but we have those who are specifically in financial analysis. Remember, these are elective. You demonstrate only one, at least one. Interpretation of financial statements, interpretation of reports, including non-financial data. Now, we have what I've just talked about, sustainability reporting. And we will have what are called sustainability reports. You are going to find these in the syllabus, and integrated reports. We have those who are in management accounting, particularly those who are working for the manufacturing industry. Those who are working for large retail organizations like supermarkets. You're supposed to analyze stock movements and advise management accordingly in terms of stock outs and stock replenishment. So for those who are in that area, issues of preparing management reports for decision making, you're applying techniques to support management decision making, issues of product costing. I've talked about variance analysis, inventory management, budgeting and forecasting, analysis of cost behavior, analyzing of So you're looking at all the various areas that our accountants are working in, and you only need to demonstrate one area. We are those who are in financial planning. The boundary between these areas may be minimal, but there are those who have specialized in a particular area. For instance, financial planning. And these ones are basically budget accountants. You will find them being called budget accountants or budget analysts. So these are basically in the area of preparation of budgets and forecasts, cash flow analysis for institutions, analyzing current and future financial position, use of trend analysis to project the future. Then we are those who are involved in the credit side. These ones would advise institutions on the sources of finance. They can also advise institutions on capital budgeting and how to finance those capital budgeting decisions. So if you're in that area, we expect that you're able to compare various sources of finance to an institution, analyzing current and future financial positions, applying capital budgeting techniques, and in terms of valuation and business planning, and long-term financial management for an institution. Again, the boundaries may be minimal, but you must be able to demonstrate at least one area. So number 1 to 5 are mainly those who are in the accounting field, right? We shall come to those who are in the public sector shortly. Now, another area we expect you to be in is in the area of taxation. And we have looked at taxation broadly. All those who are in the taxation field, you must be able to demonstrate, depending on your area and understanding of the tax laws, file returns for your clients or for your employers. You must be able to compute taxes, both direct and indirect taxes for individuals and or organizations. Issues of tax avoidance, tax evasion, tax planning, and also forecasts, preparation of tax forecasts. This comes in because institutions are planning. Where an institution wishes to expand its operations, where an institution wishes to open a branch, it has to be advised on the taxation impact of that decision. And that's where the issue of tax strategy comes in. We have those who will be in audit. And again, if you are in the audit field, we expect that you're able to describe the stages involved and the plan for an audit, preparations of an audit plan. You're able to apply relevant auditing standards. And of course, we'll be keen to see how you conducted those audits. You're able to assess risks of material misstatement. Remember what we talked about, professional skepticism and judgments. Apply both quantitative and quantitative methods in auditing. We have new trends that have come in, use of IT, remote-based auditing, cloud-based auditing and all that. And of course, issues of assurance and applying the assurance standards in practice. Preparation of audit reports, and of course, delivery of key audit findings to the management. And remember again, the issue of presentations came in. Now, the last competence area is for those of our colleagues who are working in the public sector. And in the public sector, we apply the International Public Sector Accounting Standards. We don't apply the International Financial Reporting Standards. And the public sector here incorporates both the central government and the county government. We know we have accountants, our professional students who are both in the national government, either in the ministries and departments, or they are in the state corporations, various commissions, state government commissions, parastatals, county governments, and other public sector entities. You must be able to demonstrate compliance with the various regulations that touch on public financial management, including the Public Financial Management Act. You must be able to demonstrate awareness of the changing local and global public financial management issues. You must demonstrate that you did apply public financial management tools and techniques in evaluating and managing public investments, public debt, enterprise management in complex and dynamic environments. And of course, you're able to interact with the procurement teams. An accountant interacts very, very closely with the procurement teams, procurement officers. And therefore, as an accountant also, you're expected to understand and appreciate and apply the procurement regulations. Now, the other thing I wanted just to add is that this one I had already mentioned. Number one, a candidate shall apply for assessment after completing the business data analytics paper. I had mentioned about this. We are not saying that you get experience after you sit for this paper. No, you can get experience as you go through the CPA program, but we shall ask you to demonstrate after you sit the business data analytics. You'll be required to demonstrate and upload documents to demonstrate that you have acquired that experience. And your report from your supervisors will be a key component of that report. And there's a template that we shall provide you, which you are going to fill and upload on that portal, showing where you worked, when you worked, who was your supervisor, what are the contacts of your employer, what you learned, and then we shall do our own background check. Experience acquired before commencement of the CPA will not be admissible. But experience acquired after you started the CPA and even after you finish the examinations will be accepted. We shall provide a practical experience log where candidates can log in details of the experience at any time, right? But we shall only assess it after you sit the business data analytics. We have students in Kenya and outside Kenya. Experience acquired either in Kenya or outside Kenya will be accepted. Experience acquired after completion of the examination papers shall also be admissible. Now, we require 1 year experience. This 1 year experience, we are not necessarily saying that you must have worked for a continuous period of 1 year. Sometimes you can work for 6 months, you break, you work even for another employer for another 6 months. Cumulatively, we are looking at cumulative, all right? Cumulative 1 year. at least, minimum. 1 year is defined as a period equivalent to 12 months. Where the duration of the experience is not continuous, any such part periods must aggregate to at least 12 months. All right? If you're working part-time, if you're a part-time worker, the cumulative hours, a year is taken to comprise 450 working hours. 450 working hours as per international standards. So the cumulative part-time hours must add up to 1 year, which is equivalent to 450 working hours. So we shall provide the form where you're going to indicate your nature of experience. And that form must also be countersigned by your employer. And any cost of the practical experience program shall be borne by the candidates. Any cost of the practical experience program shall be borne by the candidates. However, we are going to create a conducive field. We are going to create the necessary awareness among employers. If you're working for a professional accountant, and that accountant gives you an opportunity to gain practical experience, already the institute provides CPD hours to that professional accountant. Those are continuous professional development hours. There is a benefit that the professional accountants who are members of ISPAC get if they engage you for internship and for practical experience. As you are aware, the government, under the recent tax provisions, allowed institutions to deduct. There was a tax benefit. There was a tax benefit to institutions that engage interns. So the whole of the government, under the competence-based system, is providing a conducive environment for employers to provide internship. If you need letters of recommendation, if you need other references from Kasneb, we are going to provide. The other issue that I also wanted to inform you the board is doing is that the board is establishing an industry liaison office within Kasneb. And that industry liaison office will assist to link our graduates and our students with the industry for purposes of practical experience. An industry liaison office, that's what I was just saying, that the board is establishing to assist those who are not able to get these attachments. Now, holders of foreign accountancy qualifications, if you hold a foreign accountancy qualification, these requirements will also apply to you. Before you can sit for the papers on taxation and company law, you will also be required to demonstrate the issue of practical experience.
Right.
If there are workshops to be attended, you will also be required to attend. So holders of foreign accountancy qualifications, this requirement on practical experience will also apply to you, and also workshop. If you are working, please mute, those who are talking. Please mute. We are working on practical experience with ISPAC. James Korea, kindly mute those. James Korea. Now, the simulation workshops, for those who are not able to obtain practical experience. If you don't get the job out there, then you'll attend simulation workshops. Now, after you finish the business data analytics, we shall give you a window of 5 years to demonstrate that you have acquired this practical experience. Some may not get immediately, but within that window of 5 years, you must demonstrate. Otherwise, we will not give you the certificate. Now, there is a practical experience requirement as you join ISPAC, which is 3 years practical experience for you to join ISPAC. Since you have acquired at least 1 year, then you need 2 more years before you can apply to join ISPAC as a full member. If you finish with Kasneb with 1 year experience, you join ISPAC as an associate member. But with 3 years experience, you join as a full member. Where you are not able to obtain any relevant work experience, they will be required to physically attend work simulation workshops organized by Kasneb in partnership with ISPAC and other industry players in Kenya and outside Kenya. For those who are outside Kenya, the professional institute in your country. We shall provide details of the work simulation workshops later. Now, the disciplinary provisions on examinations will apply, so that if you cheat on your practical experience, or you submit data that is wrong, then your entire CPA qualification is going to be cancelled. And it will be very painful, but we will not allow any level of cheating. The honors for obtaining practical experience will be on the candidates. However, Kasneb will endeavor and ISPAC to provide the necessary support, including introductory letters and creating a link with potential employers, among other forms of support. And you have said that you are going to provide an industry liaison office, which is going to be established here at Kasneb. Now, so that is on practical experience, and I will give you an opportunity later. Once I'm about to finish this presentation, I'll give you an opportunity to ask questions and clarifications. And if there are issues that you still want us to look at, I've said you have not yet rolled them out, we are here also to listen to you. Now, workshops. The main essence of the workshops is for you to interact with professionals and be exposed to issues of professional ethics. That is the underlying purpose of the workshops. You need to understand about that you'll be going out there. The public has expectations on you. Those who have gone before you, how have they interacted with issues of ethics? What are the ethical challenges they have faced? How did they interact with them? And these are the same ethical challenges that you're going to face. What are the consequences for failure to uphold professional ethics? And this is the whole essence of these workshops. So that before you qualify, you have interacted with the professionals and they have inbuilt you. We want to mold you, not just as a very good person technically, but as a holistic person who the public can have trust on. Now, this applies for candidates who are still in the system after the August 2022 sitting, both in Kenya and outside Kenya, and they'll be required to attend workshops on ethics. We shall organize these workshops in partnership with ISPAC and other players in the industry. And for those who are outside Kenya, like in Rwanda, we will work with your professional body in Rwanda, ISPAR. Cameroon, we will work with ONECA. Burundi, we shall work with OPC Burundi, and other countries which have professional bodies. Candidates based outside Kenya will be required to attend workshops in their respective countries of residence. The workshops will be conducted in the English language. Now, candidates in predominantly I hope you can see the screen. Candidates in predominantly French-speaking countries may request for the workshops to be conducted in French. I hope I'm still audible. Now, so the workshops, as I've said, will cover issues on practical experience, on ethics, other soft skills, and related areas, and will be facilitated by experts. A candidate shall be required to attend a minimum of 2 workshops, 1 physical and 1 virtual. Physical workshops will be held in regional centers. So you don't have to come to Nairobi, or you don't have to come to Kenya to attend these workshops. We endeavor to hold the workshops regularly in order to provide flexibility to the candidates. We intend actually to have these workshops on a monthly basis, so that if you're not able to attend the workshop that was held in January, you attend the workshop that will be held in February. We will endeavor to provide sufficient notice to candidates on the dates and the venues of the workshops. We will plan so that at least you have a 6-month plan of these workshops, and you're able to select the workshop that you intend to attend. The cost of the workshops will be borne by the candidates, and it may vary depending on the venue. However, we shall try and endeavor to make these workshops as affordable as possible. And in Kenya, we intend to work with the ISPAC branch network to get venues which are effective. Of course, as Kasneb will also chip in. We'll also chip in and meet part of that. Now, candidates, this is very important. Candidates at the advanced level of the CPA program will be eligible to commence attending the workshops. You don't have to wait until you sit the data analytics to attend the workshops. No. So long as you have finished CPA intermediate, you are allowed to attend the workshop so that you can be finishing with some of these requirements before you qualify. However, it is after Divina, please mute. Divina, mute. It is after you finish the data analytics paper that now we shall confirm that you attended the workshops, because we'll have records of who attended. But you can attend the workshops immediately you have passed the intermediate level. Now, we may decide to administer an exam during the workshop. It is at our own discretion. You may be required to sit an exam to confirm that you have actually understood what the workshop was about. You'll be required to identify yourself sufficiently, including for the virtual workshops, and we shall give you login details and confirm through the optical identification that you are actually the one who is attending the workshop. But in case you are tempted to impersonate, then L applies to you and the disciplinary provisions apply. If you cheat during a workshop, you have cheated in an exam and your CPA will be withdrawn and you will never graduate. These workshops will commence in February 2023. So for those who are already in the advanced level, all of you, I believe, are in advanced level, you'll be able to attend these workshops. Now, our last part is now for the CS candidates. For the CS candidates, we shall come back to the questions. Someone called James, please mute Davina. Now, for CS candidates, all those who finished by August 2022, who finished the papers in CS advanced level, will not be required to do the research project. They will not be required to do the research project, so long as you finished CS by August 2022. All right. But those who are still CS candidates as we speak, they'll be required to undertake the project after you finish all the theory papers. You cannot combine the project with the theory. All right. Because the knowledge you are gaining at the advanced level assists you in terms of undertaking this project. Thus, candidates who complete the papers after the December 2020, those who have booked to sit December 2022 sitting, and you pass the 4 papers in CS advanced, then you'll be required to do this project before we can certify you. There are those who are exempted from sitting the project. For instance, advocates who have over 10 years of practice. Yes.
Presenter, I'm requesting if you can repeat again on that particular part. Those who are sitting December 2022, because you are not coming clearly.
All right. I hope I'm audible enough. The first point: those who are sitting the 4 papers in CS advanced level, and you know those papers. Once you finish the 4 papers, I'm lost.
Yes, you are now audible. You are now audible.
Oh, I'm audible now. Please let me know in case you don't hear me. Those who will finish the 4 papers in the December 2022 sitting will be required to do the project before they are certified. For the CS, there is no practical experience requirement. There are no workshops to attend for now. But for them, they do the research. Okay, but you must finish the 4 papers in CS advanced level before you can do the project. Number 2, there are those who will be exempted and under an MOU with the Law Society of Kenya, advocates with over 10 years experience will be exempted from doing the project, and holders of a master's degree where a project is critical, and is, you know, master's project is a bit more advanced than a bachelor's degree project. So these ones will also be exempted from sitting the project.
Okay.
You must.
Sorry for interruption. Sorry for interruption, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe I can ask. Let's say at the moment I have MBA in finance.
Yes.
And I'm finishing my CS in this December. Will I be exempted to do this project?
So long as you hold a master's degree, you will not be expected to do the project. What you'll be required to do is you'll be required to submit your transcripts for masters to demonstrate that you actually did the project and you completed. All right, so long as you have a master's degree. Am I clear?
You are clear, sir. Another clarification.
Hello,
another
sir.
clarification.
We shall come to questions. Please, can you note these questions?
It's okay.
Okay.
But I'll only allow you because you had asked. Please finish.
Please, I'm asking because when I was paying my exams, the system could not allow me to pay for the papers that I'll be sitting in December. I think the system at that time had a challenge because it was forcing me to pay even the project. As we speak at the moment, I've paid for the project, but I was planning to go to Kasneb to seek for intervention. And now that you are there to give us the direction, maybe you can assist us at this point.
Okay. That must have been a transition issue affecting the ICT system, but because you're not supposed to be required to book for the project. But if you had already paid, that is well and good, because if you have already paid and you submit your master's transcripts, then we shall give you a refund. You can claim the refund now, or you can claim the refund once you come to demonstrate that you have actually done the project. All right. So that money is still yours. Okay.
Hello, sir. Can I ask you one question?
Let me finish. Please? I'm just about to finish. Then I allow you to ask the questions. I will allow you to ask the questions, please. Okay. Just note them down.
Okay. Yeah, you know the problem. I joined now. That's the problem. Okay, continue.
Yeah. Let me just finish. Then I'll give you a chance.
Okay.
Now, this project, for those who will do the project, it must be in an area that is relevant to the field of corporate secretarial governance. So you must be able to submit your topic or your area of a project for approval before you do that project. And it must be in an area that is adding knowledge to the field of CS. Okay. Now, we will have project supervisors, and we are working on this with the Institute of Certified Secretaries, and we shall recommend advisors project supervisors who can guide you as you undertake this project. It is a mini project, really. It's not a major project. It is a mini project that you should be able to complete in a period not exceeding 6 months. You should be able to complete in a period not exceeding 6 months. The cost of the project will be met by the candidates. Now, that is basically the cost of collecting data. What you have paid for is for defense, because you'll have to come and defend your project before Kasneb, either virtually or physically. You must complete this project within 4 to 6 months. All right, so it's a mini project, really. It's not a very big project like the one that goes for 1 year. Now, if you are not able to undertake this project, maybe because of work commitments, then you'll have the option of attending a workshop. Workshops to take you through the research project, how to undertake a project. This will be a practical. These will be practical workshops. You demonstrate, you are taken through, and you make project presentations. All right, there will be assignments. You make project presentations. So for those who are not able to undertake this project out there, then we have provided an option of attending workshop. This will not be one workshop, a number of workshops, or focusing on the area of project design, and practitioners in the area of project and research are the ones who are going to facilitate you for this workshop. You have to submit your proposal to us, which will be reviewed by a panel, and then we approve once we confirm that your area is contributing knowledge to the CS field. Now you have to defend your project, and if you are within Nairobi, then you'll come and defend your project before a panel here. If you are outside Nairobi or you are outside Kenya, then you will be presented with a virtual opportunity to defend your project and your findings. Now, disciplinary provisions apply. The project is still an exam, and our standard rules touching on examinations are still going to apply. And if you cheat in a project, that is automatic cancellation of your CS qualification. Transitional provisions. And this one is basically what I had said, and this is my final point. All CPA candidates who completed their examinations under the old stream in the August 2022 sitting, following the 1-year transition window, will graduate without having to undertake the additional requirements. All CS candidates who completed their examinations under the old stream in the August 2022 sitting, following the 1-year transition window, will graduate without having to undertake the additional requirements. The requirements for practical experience, data analytics, workshops, research will also be gradually rolled out to the other qualifications. There's a provision about exemption based on units covered in previous syllabuses for intermediate and advanced levels will cease from 1st January 2023. What we are saying here is that if you had sat any of our previous syllabuses and you had done some units which are in intermediate and advanced, you will have to redo those units again. All right? For instance, if you are coming now and you had done a unit such as company law in 2010, and now you are coming back again, you are coming back again and you wish to finish intermediate, now we will not be able to exempt you that company law because the law has fundamentally changed. But between now up to December, we can grant you those exemptions based on units you did. But if the unit is in the foundation, you can still get exemption. But in intermediate and advanced, you must do the units. And of course, continue. So members, that is a presentation that we had for you, targeting both the CPA and CS holders. And as you have said, these requirements will be rolled out to the other qualifications of Kasneb. So I wish now to stop there and invite you to ask questions. You will raise your hand. I don't know whether my colleague Erasto is on board. Erasto, are you there?
Yes.
Erasto? Who is there? Who is there from marketing? Do you have Caroline? Do you have anyone from our marketing team to assist me in conducting this question session? All right. Let me now see those who have raised their hands. Let me see. I think there was someone called Daniel who had wanted to ask. You can raise your hand. I can be able to see if you wish to ask a question. Now, there was someone called Daniel who wanted to ask a question. I don't know whether Daniel, you are there. Just raise your hand. I'll be able to see you. You can also, let me see whether I can access my yeah. Thank you. This is Divina. Divina, you have raised your hand. You can ask your question.
Yes.
Then
Good morning.
we also have, so yes, Divina, ask your question.
Yes, I have two questions. One, in regard
Yes.
to the practical experience that you talked about, maybe you are doing CPA, you did up to, maybe you finished part 1, you did some work, you were exposed to work experience for some months, then you came back to complete the CPA. So will that work experience that you gained before maybe you reach the intermediate level or between the intermediate and the foundation level, will it be of help here? 2, in terms of workshops, as in maybe in terms of experience, maybe you tell us this experience, from where will it be helpful in your assessments? Number 2, about workshops. There are those members who have not finished the advanced level, so they have joined AWAC, which I believe is part of ISPAC. There are those workshops that one can join from the AWAC side. Will they also be important to us? Will they add value during our assessments? Maybe you give us a view of that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Divina. Suleiman? Suleiman?
Yes, I was asking, and what I was asking was actually I forgot. Give me another 1 minute.
Okay.
Just pass to
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Pass to the
All right.
next person.
Paul.
Thank you very much, Isaac, for the good presentation. The first one is suggestion. I'm suggesting in the workshops that you said that you will be rolling out from February 2023. I'm suggesting that maybe these workshops you extend to major towns within the country, as opposed to the issue of concentrating them within Nairobi and Mombasa, so that members can be able to appreciate wherever they are. Another issue is the issue of proactiveness of the institute. I'm requesting, or I'm suggesting, if the institute can be more proactive, so that these emerging issues, members can be able to know them and understand them in advance, because this issue of project, it was not coming clear in so many students, or even the stakeholders, the people who have already finished it. So the most important thing, it is good if the institute can be proactive and let members understand some of the emerging issues as soon as possible. Another issue is on the side of CS. At the moment, not so many Kenyans really understood or have understood the issue of CS. Maybe the institute can be able to, if the institute can be able to do a lot of marketing or exposure, so that Kenyans can be able to understand and appreciate the work of CS. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Paul. Odhiambo? Odhiambo? Okay, let me see all those who have raised their hands. All right. Odhiambo had raised his hand. I'm not able to hear him, but let me be responding first to the question Divina asked. Yes, Divina, we said once you have enrolled for the CPA and you start your qualification, whatever the experience you get qualifies. The experience you get qualifies. So that maybe after foundation, you got some work, then you came back to intermediate, or as long as you had started as a Kasneb student, that experience counts. Now, for workshops, if you attended similar workshops in recognized bodies such as AWAC, ISPAC, ICS, ISIFA, ICM, ISPAR, ONECA, OPC, and the rest, and we confirm that those workshops were in the area of ethics, then you will be exempted. You'll be exempted from attending the workshops. So please keep a tab on these workshops, because we shall also confirm with the respective institutes that you actually attended those workshops. The workshops, Paul, the workshops will be regional based. They will not just be Nairobi. They will be in Kisumu, Eldoret, Mombasa, Garissa, Wajir, Nyeri, Meru, Embu, Narok. They'll be in Kigali, Bujumbura, Kiwanja, Yaoundé. I know we have participants from Yaoundé here, Yaoundé, Cameroon. So they will be scattered through the various towns in Kenya and outside. Yes, the proactiveness of the institute is very critical, and we shall work very closely with ISPAC and ICS to really ensure that we are proactive and you get topics that are relevant to you. The issue of the CS, understanding of the CS within the profession, still not very well understood. Yes. But right now, we have there's a team that has been established by the National Treasury to review the CS Act, because one of the impediments is a law, is our current CPS Act, Cap 534. So this is being reviewed, and there are certain professions where you cannot practice unless you are a CS, and that is going to be entrenched in the law. That is very soon. You'll be invited to give your views. I know that a team has been established.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
So my question is, kuna mtu kwa background ako na kelele?
Please, someone is making a ako na fundi hapo, tafadhali. Mute kindly. Okay, Odhiambo, please proceed.
Okay, thank you. So if you've
Yes.
been working as an accountant for maybe say the past 2 years, and then you finish your advanced level in December, that means you take the data analytics paper. That is for the CPA. That means you take
Yes.
the data analytics paper in April, right?
Yes.
So once you're done with the data analytics paper, what duration do you have to take to be registered as a member? And do you have to first start as an associate member, or you can attain full membership of the institute?
Okay. You can attain full membership if you have at least 3 years experience. 3 years experience, you can attain full membership. Less than 3 years experience, you have to start as an associate. And then once you clock 3 years, you now become a full member. Okay.
So will the 2 years, will the prior 2 years to the finishing of the exams be considered?
What happens is that,
so that you only have
if
1 year.
That experience is assessed. It depends on what you are doing, Banodhiambo, within those 2 years, because there are certain skills and competencies that you have already demonstrated. So there is a log they normally use. They don't look at when you got this experience, but they look at the competencies that you're able to demonstrate. Okay?
Okay.
All right. There's a question on the charts. There's a question on the charts on certificates. Yes, we have delayed a bit. We delayed a bit because of certificates in printing. This was because of the transition. But in the next 30 days, we are going to finish all certificates up to August 2022. Up to August 2022. These certificates are currently under print, I know we last gave August 2021, but because of that transition, we really had to confirm who qualifies for what certificate. There are some students who are supposed to go through the specialization stream, but they still chose to do all the papers. Those students have to remain in the specialization stream. They will not qualify for certificates. So we had to clean all that data. We have cleaned it up to August 2022, and I can give you an assurance that in the next 30 days, we are going to have those certificates, and they are currently all under print, including August 2022.
Alexa, now are you back?
Yeah.
Now I'm back.
Yes,
Can
I
I
have a
ask you
question.
Suleiman.
Yeah. And
Yes.
I was asking whether the student will pay for the workshop. Then we have another question I have, and we were waiting for the pilot paper for the data analytics computer-based exam.
Okay.
And we heard that it's not yet there. When will we get that pilot paper?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much. The payments will be by the students, but remember this will be a very discounted rates because you are coming to the region, and we shall work with the branch networks to arrange the workshops in a way that is not costly for you. Remember, you attend one workshop physically, the other one is virtual. Virtual, you don't pay anything, you just make sure you have the bundles. The business data analytics practical paper, we intend to release it next week. The pilot paper, there were 1 or 2 issues we were finalizing, which we are finalizing this week, but we are going to release it to you next week. We have about 100 candidates who are already booked to see the data analytics, and we shared some information on the centers where they are going to see the data analytics. So we are going to share the practical paper, the pilot paper next week.
Okay,
now,
thank you.
Thank you. In the charts, I think there was a question about how are we going to sit for data analytic exam from Kigali? From Kigali, we are going to come there next week. I'll be in Kigali for a conference of the Institute of Certified Secretaries at M. There's a hotel called M Hotel. I'll be there. And when I'm there, we are going to undertake an assessment of one of the centers. We're looking at ULK University as a possible center, but we shall communicate to you once we are through with Kigali next week. How can we get the document you have presented? We are going to upload it on our websites. We are going to upload it on our websites, just as the same way we did the presentation for data analytics. So you are going to upload it. For data analytics, can one come with their work laptops for the exams? In addition, how will the exams be administered? Will there be a portal sent on email? We are going to take you through some training on how to log in to a computer-based exam. Those of our students who are already sitting for the certificate examination are doing them under the CBE, computer-based platform. So we are going to take you through. There will be some login credentials that will be given for you to log in. You can come with your laptop, your work laptop, because there are controls we shall have in place to ensure that you do not navigate outside the examination window. If you try to navigate to Google, it will immediately lock out, and you are going to miss out on that exam, and you'll have to pay again. So we will allow you to come with your laptops, but remember, minimum Core i3 and with the MS Excel, at least 2010 and above, all right? The issue of the internet, we are going to handle for you. Just come with your laptop. We may require you to give us serial numbers of these laptops for registration. We are going to communicate to you in due time. In the course of next week, or very early the week after, we are going to start training sessions for those who have booked for data analytics in December. We were waiting for the deadline to expire so that we know those who have booked, and then we start training you on how to log in and some basics. We expect you to be proficient, but certain basics on how to access the exam and how to do it. Data analytics pilot paper, we were working on it, and we should be able to release it to you by next week. The presentation, we will not share it on social media. We will share it, we'll upload it on our website for your access. For CPA, yes, you must do practical. You must do the practical experience. Joseph, we are writing from South Sudan. How are the students from this side attend the workshops? Yes, if you are sitting data analytics, you are going to sit for our exam at our embassy, at our embassy in Juba. We have already written to our embassy in Juba to prepare. All you need to do, go there with your laptop. Before the date of the exam, we will have already taken you through some lessons, how to log in and all that. But Joseph, if you have booked in Juba, in South Sudan, you will sit at our usual center, that is Kenya Embassy in Juba. After completion with the certificate, specify your area of specialization. After you qualify, you'll get the standard certificates, but you'll also get some form of a transcript. Remember, this transcript goes with the certificate. The transcript is going to indicate the area of specialization that you did. Document will be on the website. On CS, the syllabus stated the cost for research will be 10,000. But on the portal, the cost was 3,600. So that is a question from the cost of the research project is 10,000. That could have been an error on the portal, but the cost is 10,000. So share the presentation. Okay, the recording. We shall send the recording on social media, but the presentation is going to be on the website. How long is the workshop going to be? Usually a half day, not full day. Half day workshop. Can you consider allowing students in specialization level and who have completed advanced compulsory units to register for data analytics? No. You must finish your you must finish all the papers before you see the data analytics. It is the exit paper where you are required to demonstrate the knowledge in all the papers that you have sat.
Allow me to ask a question, Mr. Isaac.
Yes.
Yes, I have two questions.
Please
My name is Emma.
Your name? Yes.
My name is Emma.
Yes. Emma?
Am I audible? Yes, I was asking. Now, the old stream students, and we are the ones who are double specialization, what happens in the data analytical paper? Will they be tested on the two specializations or they'll need to take one? Number two, those who had sat for advanced level and in the old stream section 5-6, and they passed tax and MA, what will happen to them? Will they need to do the theory papers and then do the analytical paper? Thank you. Back to you. And again, you mentioned the areas on workshops. Will we have workshops in Nakuru? I'm based in Nakuru. Back to you, Isaac.
Emma, I had to say first, the workshops will be regional. You don't have to come to Nairobi.
Okay.
You will come to where you are. If you had passed management, if you had passed advanced tax and management accounting, all you need to do is to sit the other. You need to pass the other three compulsory papers: leadership, advanced financial reporting, and advanced financial management. Once you pass those three, you go straight to the data analytics. Specialization, you take. Of course, there will be compulsory questions. You are going to see this in the pilot paper coming next week. There's a section which is theory. You must understand the theoretical foundation of data analytics. And this part is there will be multiple choice questions and also a few explain questions. All right. So there'll be that section, and then the practical section. This section 1 is going to carry, there'll be 20 questions. Then section 2 will have 3, you are supposed to see 3 practical questions. 3 practical questions. Some of these questions are compulsory, the others you choose, depending on which is your strength in your area of specialization. But to wait first, you'll see this pilot paper. Please attempt it with your laptops so that you can be prepared for the exam. But as I've said, we shall take you through some training sessions where we shall even have these pilot papers. We do them physically with you. Now,
my question was, Isaac,
yes.
Mr. Isaac, my question was,
Yes,
those who are double specializing right now in the December paper, they are taking tax and audit. When it comes to the practical paper, what will happen? The data analytical paper.
The optional, there are two compulsory questions, Emma, and one option, one elective question. So whichever of your specialization you feel you are strongest, you do the elective.
All right. Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Two questions are compulsory. Yeah, the elective is just one.
All right.
Now,
thank you.
Let me see any.
Isaac, I have a question.
Yes, introduce yourself.
I'm Mohammed.
Yes, Mohammed.
So I was asking, for example, let's say I've sat for that business data and analytics in December, and I have passed. Then I have one year experience, or more than 1 year. Do I have to attend the workshops?
Okay. Yes, Mohammed. The workshops are compulsory. The workshops and the practical experience and data analytics are separate requirements. Okay, you can only be exempted from the workshops either if you have a master's degree or you have attended similar workshops.
Sir, I have a question.
Let me finish answering that one. If you have attended workshops with other professional bodies, but the workshop is different from the practical experience, is different from the analytics. All right?
Okay.
Now, who is asking the question?
Thanks.
Who is asking the question? Okay.
The one who was asking a question has gone silent. If you could allow me to ask a question.
Please introduce yourself.
Dr. Joshua Aura here.
I have a question.
And my point is...
Can you hear me?
Yeah. My point is regarding data analytics.
Yes.
I'm happy to hear that you shall be having a pilot paper. I happen to be having about 100 students. I'm surprised. It's like I'm teaching all data analytics students you guys have registered. But my point is I'm able to see some two bumps. When I'm teaching this, you are saying, for example, we have like Power BI in the syllabus. Power BI itself is so wide. So in the future, are you thinking of, for example, giving us the specifics Power BI are? What content should we teach exactly? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Yes, Dr. Aura, thank you for that feedback. Remember, this is also a feedback session. And you have raised an issue in terms of the specifications. We are going to pick that up and address it as we move on to the next sitting. So
Thank
that is well
much.
noted, Dr. Aura. We take that on board, okay? And as I've said to our students and the trainers, if you have any concerns, please raise them now, because as I've said, you have not yet rolled them out, and you still have a window to put your suggestions forward as you have just received. Brian, you have a question, Brian? Brian?
I have a question on CS.
Yes. Yes.
For CS, what I want clarification on is about the workshops.
Yes.
So have you, if I do the workshops, will I need to sit for the project?
Now, if you are in CS,
yes.
CS, there are no the CS. We have said if you are not able to do the project, then you attend workshops organized by the Institute on research and project.
Yes.
That's the alternative. If you attend the workshops, you don't have to do the project. If you do the project, you don't have to attend the workshop. All right.
And will there be a timeline on when these workshops will begin?
We have said they are going to begin in February 2023. I said that when I started the presentation. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Brian.
Thank you.
Brian. Thank you. Brian.
Maybe I can ask
Brian,
a question on data analytics.
Yes. Yes.
This is Dennis.
Yes, Dennis.
So in one of your communications earlier, you mentioned that there will be continuous sittings for the data analytics starting next year.
Yes.
So my question is, has this been confirmed? As in, do you have a date set on when the continuous sittings will start next year?
Yes, we are planning. Okay, after the December sitting, we will not wait for the April. We are planning to have the next sitting either in late February or early March. Our plan is that we conduct this data analytics every 2 months, so that if you are not able to attend, because we have to allocate you centers that have internet, and we may not be able to accommodate all of you. So it will be on first come, first serve basis. If you pay, and we have capacity, let's say for 300 persons to sit, then the next batch will sit in the next sitting. It depends on the numbers that we are having and the availability of internet, because our centers are also limited. All right, we have just about 15 centers for computer-based exam. But to answer your question, late February, early March, there we shall communicate on the specific date. But we are not going to do it in April; it will be earlier. All right.
Oh, thank you.
That was Dennis. Now, Esther, I think Esther, you already asked your question. Let me just answer the ones on the chat. Then if there are no other questions, we can come to an end. Linus is asking, how will the transcripts for the advanced level look like, especially for those with 5 units passed in the old syllabus and failed? Say only AFR. The transcripts will indicate the papers you sat, whether it is in the old syllabus or the new syllabus. They'll also indicate your specialization. Please choose your specialization carefully, very, very carefully, because it could mean a difference between getting a job or not. If you choose a specialization that you think is easy, and there's no specialization that is easy, then it may, so choose your, based on your area of interest. Now, the other issue is, if there is a specialization that you would have wished to do, but you have already done a double major or you have already double specialized, there is a window. After you finish your CPA qualification and you get your certificate, you can come back for a single paper certificate in your specialization that you would have wished to do, but you did not. Let's say you specialized in tax and advanced management accounting, and then you have qualified because that's the maximum. Then you want to do advanced audit. You come back, you do advanced audit, you get a single paper certificate from Kasneb indicating that you have done the advanced audit specialization. I wanted just to clarify that, particularly for those who are in the old stream, or for those who may feel that we would have wished to do another specialization moving forward. So the transcripts are going to indicate that. Please elaborate on specialization for those who have passed all the specialization papers from the old syllabus. Now, if you had passed all the specialization papers from the old syllabus, they are going to appear in your transcript. They are still going to appear in your transcript. The research project format for CS, we are going to share. The research project format for CS, we are going to share with you even the outline and the guidelines for how to put the project together. Remember, it's going to come. We are going to do that. Then before you start projects next year, at least you'll have those guidelines. I think I've answered the questions on the chat. There's just this last one. Irene Joy. I sat for section 5 in 2020. I've been exempted from several papers papers as I sit for advanced level, but would like to sit for it in April. Does that mean I'll have to repeat the whole advanced level in April? Let me put my email on the chat because I have not understood that question very well. I'm putting my email on the chat. Then you can inbox me in case you have any further question and I've not been able to respond. My email is on the chat. You can see it. IIA Kenya workshops are admissible. Yes, Institute of Internal Auditors workshops are admissible. If someone is doing a bachelor's degree, then he goes for an attachment. Can that attachment form part of 1 year experience? Let's say you are pursuing the CPA and BCom at the same time. Again, it is you to defend whether it was an attachment. You have to defend that you have acquired the competence. All right. Most attachments would be for 3 months. So you have to defend that you acquire the competence, but also you will have fallen short of the 7 months. Or rather, if it's 3 months, you'll have fallen short of 9 months. You still have 9 months to demonstrate. Recap on the digital paper. Digital paper, I don't know whether it's digital literacy or it's data analytics. Priska, you can inbox me on that question. There's someone about Anthony. This is a bit out of today's scope, but kindly the communication channels as Kasneb leaves so much to be tired. You can call a whole week and the phones at Huduma are never answered.
Exactly.
My question is, I would like to ask about CFFE course, which I was informed can only be taken at KCA. Add the centers, please. We have institutions offering CFFE. Some of them have already applied for accreditation. We have so far accredited KCA main campus, but we're also accrediting others to train. And sorry, Anthony, for that experience. I know we are doing all we can to improve our communication system, but I've also shared my email on the chat in case there's something urgent and you have not been able to have been addressed. There's a big problem on customer service, I admit, and thank you for this feedback. I know our customer service is not at par, but we are doing all we can to see. But again, you have my email in case something has not been answered. CPA finalists transiting to masters, you get an equation letter from, I know a number of universities are relooking at the transition of CPAs, but I would advise if you have a CPA and you don't have a bachelor's degree, I would advise you to get a bachelor's degree because they complement each other. You'll get a number of exemptions. I advise that you still get a bachelor's degree with exemptions. You are actually eligible to go ahead and do masters. And we have a number of universities, mainly in the UK, which admit you directly. Now, we are working with universities on the same, but I would advise that you still do a bachelor's degree. Just as a bachelor's, although we are in the same level with bachelor's degree, they cannot say that they don't need a CPA. Become accounting, we are at the same level with them, but they still have to come and do CPA, even though we are at the same level 7. The issue of communication on workshop attendance, we are going to communicate to our students who have entered the advanced level, because those are the ones eligible to attend the workshops. We shall communicate with the students. There will be regular communication and a plan for the workshops for every 6 months. You'll be receiving a 6-month notice of the workshops you have planned, then you go and attend. If I've done practical paper and I get an internship attachments, we just want to see you have demonstrated competence for a period of 1 year. If I choose a workshop route, do I have to still pay for the 10,000 cost? The 10,000 cost is the cost you pay to Kasneb. All right, that one is mandatory. You'll be certified as a CS having done research. That is a cost. 10,000 is not for the workshop. With 3 years experience before completion, can you be eligible to register for membership in ISPAC? It depends whether you have gotten the requisite experience and what you are doing. All right? Because there is a form, I say, which they use to assess that level of competence. After completing the data analytics, can a student register for CIFA in January? No. because you have to finish the CPA, the whole of it, including the practical paper and the workshops. Those who pass CPA all syllabus in August, can we do the data analytics? Yes, we will open a window. If you want to do the data analytics as a single paper, you come back, you enroll, then you get a single paper certificate for Kasneb Business Data Analytics, those who have already finished CPA. How will the workshop be held? We intend to have these workshops on a monthly basis. Kangeri, please expound on data science. You need to be specific. This is data analytics. I think there is a circular we had issued earlier. Kangeri, you can inbox me if you have not received this additional circular. TPA is equivalent to a degree, has been equated to a degree. That's what we have said. That is by the Kenya National Qualification Authority. They are at level 7. If you look at an article that was in the Daily Nation, I think 2 or 3 days ago, you can also see that. Now, for equation, you apply to the Kenya National Qualification Authority. If maybe you're applying for a job where they are asking for a degree and you have a CPA, you apply for equation from the Kenya National Qualification Authority, and they'll give a letter confirming that equation of the qualification. And the issue of customer service, I think, was noted. So members, we want to come to an end, and you can inbox me for any other questions that you may have, so that we can allow you now to proceed with your other calls for the day. So you can check my inbox, the chat, my email is there in case of any further inquiries. And I want to take this opportunity to most sincerely thank all of you who have been able to attend. The students, the trainers, we really appreciate for the time that you have created. And we are going to have these sessions on a regular basis, just to update you on what we are doing. We are going to have training sessions for those who have booked for data analytics from next week. We are administering that exam in partnership with the University of Nairobi Enterprise Services, UNES. So we shall be introducing them, and we are going to share the links for the trainings with you. We're also going to share training videos that we have conducted on our other students who are now sitting for CBE. We shall share these training videos on your emails starting next week, so that even as you prepare for the training, you already have some basics on what you expected to find. Before I finish, Mohammed, I have seen you have raised your hands. Mohammed, you have raised your hand, or is the previous question you're asking?
It was the previous one.
Mohammed. Mohammed?
It was the previous one.
All right, Sawa. So members, please allow us to end here. Odhiambo. Okay. Allow us to end here. Yes, who is it?
Mr. Isaac. I attend the session from Rwanda.
Yes.
My question is, so I need to understand, when you're doing the masters, you finish masters, workshop, is it necessary or is it compulsory or not?
Okay. Yeah, thank you joining us from Rwanda. Remember, yes, these workshops for CPA, this is for CPA, I presume, or CS?
CPA.
CPA, yeah.
Yes.
The workshop is still compulsory because the workshops are covering something that is not covered in the academic or professional world, that is ethics. The workshops cover issues of ethics from a practical perspective, which has not been covered at the master's level. And ethics, we insist, because we have to mold all our professionals into holistic persons. So that one is compulsory. Thank you, Colin from Rwanda. There was one more person whom I had. Yeah, yes. Okay. Let me give the one who is online. Let me give you one last opportunity. Please ask, then we close.
All right, my name is Edward.
Yes, Edward.
Wanted to make a clarification. Like for those guys who cleared the CPA a while ago on the old syllabus.
Yes.
Well, you've said the procedure is that they have to do one advanced so that they can apply for the analytical, right?
No. If you're already a CPA graduate,
yes,
If you're already a CPA graduate, you can
Yes.
come back and book for the data analytics as a single paper, and you get a single paper certificate that you have done Kasneb Business Data Analytics. Yeah, you don't have to do any other paper. All right?
Yes. Yes.
Members, please allow me to allow one special guest. He's joining us from Cameroon. He's our graduate from Cameroon. He's called Cedric. Cedric, are you there? Cedric, you addressed your hands. Maybe you have lost him. But he was joining us from Douala in Cameroon. So members, please allow us to stop there. We have inboxed you my email on the chat. Please send us in case you have any inquiries, and in case you encounter any challenges with the customer care, please drop us an email. We are going to do our best to address that issue of communication. So I wish to thank all of you most sincerely, and wish you a very good day ahead. We are going to keep this communication going. So thank you very much. And those sitting for the December exams, data analytics, we are going to get in touch with you further. So asanteni sana, uwe na siku njema. Thank you.
Thank you for good presentation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good day.
Thank you. Good day.